The Women's World Cup is back, and this time we're heading to Australia and New Zealand. The two nations had planned to bid separately for hosting rights, but joined forces to comfortably beat off a proposal by Colombia. And the tournament's organisers have every reason to believe this could be the best Women's World Cup yet. Bigger than ever, the competition returns at a time when women's football is exploding everywhere. Stadium attendances are being smashed, viewing figures have rocketed, while the professional game is constantly evolving. With New Zealand kicking off the tournament on July the 20th, in this Explained we're bringing you the ultimate guide to the Women's World Cup. Who are the players to watch, what drama has dominated the build-up, and can England go all the way? Let's have a look. This will be the 10th edition of the Women's World Cup and the first in Oceania. It will also be the first to feature 32 teams after FIFA voted to expand the tournament, and this has thrown the door open for new nations to make their bow. 20 sides have returned from the last edition in France, but Haiti, Panama, the Republic of Ireland and Portugal are among 8 debutantes, while this will be the first ever FIFA event the Philippines have participated in. And in another quirky piece of history, Zambia have become the first landlocked country in Africa to qualify for a World Cup for either sex. It's not just the competition that's bigger than before. The total prize pool is up to $110 million, $80 million higher than in France, while ticket pre-sales have already soared over 1 million, the most in the tournament's history. Australia's opening fixture against Ireland gained so much demand, it was shifted from the 42,500-seater Allianz Arena to the 82,000-capacity Stadium Australia, where the final will be played on August the 20th. Australia and New Zealand 2023 is on track to become the most attended Women's World Cup in history, gloated FIFA boss Gianni Infantino. But attracting broadcasters has been another drama entirely. Infantino wants the action to reach 2 billion eyes worldwide, nearly double the record viewing from France. Citing huge interest in the event, FIFA decided that bidding rights would be separate from the men's tournament, whereas before they came in a package. This led to FIFA rejecting multiple bids for broadcasting rights, with Infantino labelling proposals from the Big Five of the UK, France, Germany, Spain and Italy as an insult to women worldwide. It was reported that the initial Italian bid was just €300,000 compared to the €160 million paid out for the men's, and that the initial BBC ITV bid was just 8% of what they paid for Qatar. The situation grew tense. With just 5 weeks to go, Infantino threatened a media blackout unless the Big Five bids improved, citing a moral and legal obligation to demand more money. The issue has since been resolved. However, Japan, a former winner of the World Cup and a major market in the Asia-Oceania region, is still yet to strike a deal with FIFA. It should be noted that the governing body has drawn plenty of criticism for their handling of the situation. Writer Susanna Rack of The Guardian highlighted how FIFA had a track record of constantly undervaluing all aspects of the women's tournament, and former FIFA Council member Maya Dodd called out the organisation for hypocrisy, saying FIFA should review its bundled deals and attribute a fair proportion back to the women's game instead of blackmailing broadcasters. Another issue that has tainted the build-up are the big players missing because of injury. France have been dealt a hammer blow by the loss of PSG star Marie-Antoinette Katoto and Lyon winger Delphine Cascarino. Canada are missing the experienced Janine Beckie, the USA have lost Lyon's prolific forward Katarina Macario, while the Netherlands will be without Arsenal star Viviana Miedema. But arguably no side has suffered more than England, who head to Australia without Beth Mead, Fran Kirby and their captain Leah Williamson. Quite remarkably, almost every player mentioned has suffered the same injury, a rupture or tear to the anterior cruciate ligament in the knee. It's an issue that is haunting the women's game, with global figures showing upwards of 25 players have damaged their ACLs in top competitions over the past 12 months. Arsenal alone have lost 4 players, after defender and Austria international Laura Weinrotter joined Mead, Williamson and Miedema on the sidelines. It also caused 2-time Ballon d'Or feminine winner Alexis Putellas to miss most of the season at Barcelona. Startling figures have revealed that females are up to 6 times more likely to suffer a non-contact ACL injury than men, due to physiological, biological and sporting reasons. Yet finding a solution to the issue has been slow, due to the lack of attention women receive within sport and exercise science. But in the wake of the World Cup, football is starting to react. Almost every major manufacturer has developed women-specific boots for the tournament, in hope it will drive the injury rate down. Fortunately, there will still be plenty of huge stars in action. Alexis Putellas has recovered to lead out a Spanish side flush with 8 members of Barcelona's invincible European champions, a team that won all 30 of their domestic league matches, scoring 167 and conceding 15. Incredible numbers, however, La Roja arrive at the tournament just 9 months on from a reported mutiny against their coach Jorge Vilda. Although Vilda was thought to have lost the confidence of his players, he has survived to lead out his nation once more. The bookies' favourites, USA, head down under with a team stacked with talent. The iconic Megan Rapinoe is set for one last dance for the Stars at Stripes at 38. However, all eyes will be on the defending champion superstar Alex Morgan. With a remarkable record of 121 goals and over 200 caps, Morgan will be key to the USA landing their 5th World Cup. Elsewhere, Khadija Shaw will carry the hopes of Jamaica. The Manchester City forward produced a stunning domestic campaign, hitting 31 goals in 30 games for the Sky Blues, and is Jamaica's top scorer with a ridiculous 55 goals in 38 caps. In a very competitive group with France and Brazil, Jamaica will be ones to watch. Shaw will get the chance to meet the footballing icon Marta in Australia, who has recovered from her own ACL injury to travel with Brazil. It will be the 37-year-old's 6th appearance at a World Cup, but sadly her last. Nigeria and Barcelona striker Asisa Oshoala became the first African to be nominated for the Ballon d'Or Feminine, while Japan will be relying on Manchester City star Yui Hasegawa to navigate a standout group stage clash against Spain. And then there's Ada Hegerberg, who is back at the World Cup following the end of her 5-year self-imposed exile from international football last summer. The Lyon forward and all-time Champions League top scorer claimed treatment of the women's game by Norway's Football Federation had left her mentally broken. But her return is a massive boost for the Scandinavians, often stuck in the shadow of their neighbour Sweden. However, arguably no player will be gaining more attention this summer than the WSL sensation Sam Kerr. The Matildas superstar and goal machine returns home after another stellar campaign for Chelsea, landing a League and Cup double and scoring 29 in the process. In Group B, alongside the Republic of Ireland, Nigeria and Canada, Australia are tipped to go far. And Kerr is determined to inspire the world, telling FIFA, hopefully in 20 years' time, people are talking about the Matildas and what we did. And this leads to England, the European champions. Sarina Wiegman's squad has been hammered with injuries and just tasted their first defeat under the Dutch manager's reign against Australia. It led Wiegman to admit the side is in transition, but she still struck a positive note, telling the BBC England are well among the favourites, and the squad still has many strong inclusions. Chelsea defender Millie Bright has recovered from a knee problem just in time to lead out the Lionesses in Williamson's absence. She's joined in defence by their talisman Lucy Bronze, who has also battled with injury throughout the season. Still, Bronze just claimed a 4th Champions League title, this time with Barcelona, and the 31-year-old will know that glory at the World Cup could leave her on the cusp of becoming England's greatest ever player. In midfield, there are plenty of returning faces from the Euros triumph too, including Georgia Stanway, Ella Toone, and the world's most expensive player, Kira Walsh. Also joining the team is Katie Zellum. Manchester United's captain was cut from Wiegman's Euro squad, but will finally make her berth at a major tournament. Chloe Kelly and Laura Hemp are likely to feature out wide, along with Chelsea winger Lauren James, and although Beth Mead is missing, Wiegman is still spoiled for choice in attack. New Arsenal signing Alessia Russo has been first choice for her country and just netted 13 times across her final season at Manchester United. But competition in the England squad means her starting berth is far from secure. First up is Tottenham's Bethany England, who broke the British transfer record when she transferred from Chelsea to Spurs for £250,000 in January. Spurs will be very pleased with their investment too, as England has scored 12 and 12 in the WSL since the move. And then there is Rachel Daly. She started at fullback for England during the Euros, but has made a stunning transition to centre forward over the past year at Aston Villa. 22 goals in 22 games just earned her the WSL's Golden Boot and could see her leading the line down under. England have plenty of firepower and will feel confident they can exit a group featuring Haiti, China and Denmark. They may have fallen at the semi-finals at the last 2 World Cups, but with the bookies still backing them as second favourites behind the USA, all eyes will be on the final in Sydney to see if the Lionesses can continue to make history. So that was our complete guide to the Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, which starts on the 20th of July. What do you make of England's chances? Who are the dark horses? Let us know in the comments down below. As always, if you enjoyed this, smash the like button and subscribe to Football Daily if you haven't done so already, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.